The Ministry of Education and Culture has announced plans to introduce key stage testing as a tool to further evaluate students' academic progress. Key stage testing is the evaluation of a student's ability to master age-appropriate knowledge and skills at key development stages throughout their formal education. It involves the evaluation for mastery of the age-appropriate knowledge and skills of students from kindergarten to secondary school. Deputy Chief Education Officer Dr. Laverne Bruley says the integration of key stage testing is in keeping with the implementation of the BVI Education Act and will address the core subjects.
There are some areas in the Education Act which we have not yet addressed, key stage assessment being one, and we are now taking the necessary steps and actions to ensure that the mandate for key stage assessment in our school system is realized. Now, in this process, the curriculum will be organized into blocks of years mandated by the Act called key stages, where at the end of each key stage, the student's performance will be formally assessed to measure the child's progress. This process will happen in the core subjects, math, English, science, social studies. The process started at the beginning of this school year in stage 1 with the key stage readiness test. And this test has so far enabled us to identify the strengths and weaknesses of the students entering our system, as well as the strengths and weaknesses from the centers from which they came. And this is invaluable information to us because it helps us to focus and strengthen the shortcomings as we make plans to strengthen the education system.
Key stage testing will serve as a reference point to gather complete, accurate, and relevant data territory-wide on students' performance. It will also hold schools accountable for the standard of attainment and progress made by respective students and serve as a benchmark to monitor schools' performance.
What the key stage will help us to do is early intervention. All right? When I say that, I mean we are identifying in stage 1 those children who may not have met our requirements. In the past, they would have all come in and they would have all gone through without us having a formal way of saying, well, you know, this child really is not ready. It could be several reasons why the child is not ready. And you may have identified one of them as being not getting the necessary foundation. On the other hand, the child may have been exposed to the necessary foundation, but for one reason or the other, did not grasp it. It could be a learning disability.
Right.
Okay, and they come in various forms. We are going to be looking at the child as they begin with us, taking them through the necessary classes and the levels, and a standardized test will come to show that the child has mastered. If the child has not mastered, overall we are looking at territory-wide, then we know we need to do some intervention. Intervention here may mean extra classes, may mean changing our strategy, may mean different methods, a variety of things. We are expecting that the children will be at a particular academic level by the identified stages.
The new assessment is expected to usher in a new approach that replaces the traditional Primary 5 exam. The Minister and the Department of Education held the first of 2 planned public meetings to inform the public about the new school assessment on Wednesday, November 6th at the Sir Rupert Briarcliff Hall. The second meeting is scheduled for November 13th at the Catholic Community Center in Virgin Gorda.